Hey everybody, JC here with another TNI toy review. And for today's review, we're going to be taking a look at the new DC Collectibles 6-inch The New Batman Adventures Nightwing figure. Now this figure comes packaged in the same style of packaging we've seen with the other new Batman Adventure figures. You've got that blue card back with the darkened in image of Batman, Robin, and Nightwing. You've got the figure clearly displayed. Down below you've got the new Batman Adventures logo, and off to the side you have the name of the character, and it tells us that this is figure number 18 in the series. On the very side of the packaging it tells us the figure is sculpted by Gentle Giant Studios, and then on the back we again have that image of Batman, Robin, and Nightwing. Okay, so let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside of the packaging. Now before we get to the figure itself, let's first take a look at the accessories that come with it. Okay, so the figure comes with a figure stand like we see with all the figures in the line, and it's that white base with the turnaround images of the character. And you've got the new Batman Adventures logo off to the side for this one. The arm is clear plastic that holds the figure, and you can move it up and down, and you can also extend it forward and backwards, and it's just that clamp type arm. So it holds the figure pretty good. These stands I do find take up a lot of space on your shelf once you start to get a lot of these figures, so that's my only real complaint with that. The figure also comes with 4 different pairs of interchangeable hands. So he's got a pair of closed-fisted hands that come attached to the figure when you first take it out of the packaging. Then he's got a pair of hands that are kind of open for holding the little thin wing ding that he comes with, which is his version of the Batarang. And then he comes with a pair of open hands, and these are more for holding the binoculars that he comes with. And then he comes with a pair of open hands which aren't quite as open as the other pair. Also, he comes with episode-specific accessories based on the episode You Scratched My Back, where he's basically working with Catwoman. And so he's got this pair of binoculars that you see him using at the beginning of the episode when he's up on a building top watching these smugglers. And it's just a dark gray with some lighter bluish gray on the ends, and then some white painted on for the lenses. And then finally he comes with his wing ding, which, as I said, is his version of the Batarang. It's shaped like a bird, and it's pretty pointy on the ends, and it's just a gray plastic. Okay, so for the figure itself, I think they've done a pretty good job with it. Now, I can't say I was a huge fan of this design of the character, mainly because I don't like the mullet hairstyle that they gave him in the cartoon, but I can't really fault the figure for that. Face sculpt looks good, skin tones are decent. You've got the black mask with the whited out eyes, and then that kind of frown that you often see him have. The hair is sculpted pretty good, again capturing how it appeared in the cartoon. You've got the little piece on the top there which looks good. The Nightwing emblem on his costume is sculpted on there. It's not just painted, and that looks pretty good, and it's done with a blue paint. And then the rest of the figure is just a solid black. So no real paint blemishes, no real, not a lot of paint detail, but again, that's pretty much how he looked in the cartoon. Okay, so the figure stands at about 5 3/4 inches tall, and the scale seems to be pretty good with the other figures in the line. So here he is next to the Batman figure, and you can see Batman is a little bit taller. And then he's a little bit, the Batgirl figure is a little bit shorter, and so is the Tim Drake Robin figure. And then just for one more comparison, here he is next to the Dick Grayson Robin from the Batman the Animated Series line. And you can see Nightwing is a little bit taller than Robin, but that probably makes sense. He probably grew a little bit since the Nightwing is when he's a little bit older. Articulation is pretty good on the figure. The head is on a ball joint, so he can look left and he can look right, even with the long hair. And he can look down pretty good. He can't really look back too much, just straight ahead because of that long hair, but he can also kind of pivot his head to the left and the right as well. Arms are tapped with your standard ball hinge joint at the shoulder, so he can get his arm all the way out. He's got good rotation there at the shoulder. He has the swivel at the elbow and then the single hinged elbow, but he has good bending at the elbow. He's got the swivel at the wrists, and then, as I mentioned before, all the hands have hinges on them, so he's got good up and down movement with the hands. He's got a waist swivel. He's got those side joints for the legs, so he can do the splits good, and he can do his leg up that much, and he can do his leg back about that much. No thigh swivel. Single hinged knee, so he can bend his knee about that much. No swivel at the knee either. And then he's got the hinges on the feet, so he's got good up and down movement, and he's got the ankle pivot. And then 2 peg holes on the bottom of his feet. Okay, so that's my review. Overall, I think this is a pretty good figure. Again, I'm not a huge fan of this design of the character, but I can't really fault the figure for that. I just don't really like that mullet haircut, though. My only real complaint for the figure itself is I wish they had included his glider wing somehow as maybe an attachment or something. You know, they were kind of a big part of the character, and especially the episode that the figure is supposed to be based on, You Scratch My Back. He used them a good deal in that episode. So it would have been nice if they had included those. But otherwise, I think it's a solid figure, and if you're a fan of this line, I think this is one that you'll definitely want to add to the collection. So this figure is hitting comic and specialty shops now. We'll have a full gallery of images up at toynewseye.com. There's a link in the description below. And as always, leave a comment, let us know what you think, and if you're so inclined, please like the video. And until next time, I'll catch you later.